All right, NFL free agency has begun. The draft is right around the corner, so this is the best opportunity to give you my first 2024 mock draft. Now, for my first mock draft, I'm going to just do the first 10 teams. We'll do a later, more comprehensive entire first round mock draft later on as we get closer and closer to that time. I just got to do a lot more digging into what those teams' needs are and some of that draft board, the way that it falls. But I've done the top 10. So we're going to give to the top 10 here today. Let's get it going.
Williams high steps his way to the end zone.
Number one, Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. I think this is an obvious choice. I don't think that there's going to be anybody who mocks anybody else to the Chicago Bears at number one. I think the writing has been on the wall that they're going to trade Justin Fields. And the new era of Bears football, hopefully, is going to be with Caleb Williams. That's at least what Bears fans are hoping for. So I think there's not much that needs to be said about this pick. Caleb Williams to the Bears. Jaden Daniels to the Washington Commanders. Where there is smoke, there is fire, and there have been way too many reports coming out of the NFL talking about the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels. He's been mocked there for most of the draft at this point, and he has skyrocketed up these mock drafts and these draft boards ever since the end of the college football season. With a new offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury who likes mobile quarterbacks, think Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray are two of the quarterbacks that he has coached. I think he's going to want somebody that can move. We know Jaden Daniels can, and this is something that they're going to have to address because their offensive line's not great. Now, they could get some in the free agents market, but this is a guy that's probably going to have to run around a little bit, especially with a Philadelphia Eagles and a Dallas Cowboys pass rush that they're going to have to face twice a year. Jaden Daniels, the pick at number 2. I went back and forth on who I thought that the New England Patriots were going to pick at number 3. But as soon as they traded away Mac Jones, it was pretty simple that they're going to take the third quarterback off the board. They feel comfortable enough with Jaden Daniels or Drake May that they're going to take whoever is available at number 3. I think it's going to be Drake May at number 3. I have question marks about Drake May, especially in cold weather New England. However, if this New England team and the scouting department and the head coach, Gerard Mayo, is comfortable with Drake May, they're going to take him there at number 3. Number 4, the Cardinals are going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. This is an easy pick. I think that some people are thinking that there are some wide receivers in this draft class that ceiling might be higher, but there's not a receiver in this class that the floor is as high as it is with Marvin Harrison Jr. He is going to be a really good player in the NFL, and I think that is consensus among people who have studied this league, who are really heavily involved in the league, that Marvin Harrison Jr.'s floor is the highest of anybody on here. He's a really good route runner. He understands leverage against coverages. I think that he is a really good player, and with this Arizona Cardinals team, they need a true number 1 wide receiver. They take the top receiver off the board in Marvin Harrison Jr. Number 5, the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they'll take Joe Alt. Now, this is a very easy pick to trade, and I think that the Chargers might end up trading that, but I might do that later on in a couple of mock drafts from now. This is just the first one, so I have the Chargers keeping the pick, and they're going to take Joe Alt. I know that they have Rashawn Slater on the left side of that offense, but if you put Joe Alt on the right side of that offense, we know that Jim Harbaugh likes to build the trenches. He is a run-first minded coach, and this is going to help that. Obviously, you have Justin Herbert, and you would like to give him one of these weapons like Malik Nabers or Rome Odunze, but I think that he wants to build the trenches, and he's going to take the best offensive tackle, move him to the right side, and have Joe Alt. So now you have 2 cornerstones on the sides of your offensive line to try to start this Jim Harbaugh era with the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, before we get through pick 6 through 10, be sure to hit that like button so that this video goes out to other people. That helps the algorithm a lot, apparently, is if somebody likes the video. So be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, let's figure out who the Giants are going to pick at 6. All right, number 6, the New York Giants. I have them taking Malik Nabers. There's a lot of people in the draft community that have Malik Nabers kind of as the highest upside of these wide receivers. I think that people think he could be the best out of this, and his traits and his measurables and what they've seen on tape could put him in a position to be the best wide receiver in this draft. He is a physical specimen. He's quick. He understands how to get downfield and beat players in coverage. I think that this is a really good pickup for the New York Giants. They need weapons. I understand that they don't know what they're going to do with Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones probably isn't going to be with the New York Giants for much longer. However, when you have the top 3 quarterbacks already off the board, what do? Well, you're not going to draft J.J. McCarthy at number 6. You want a weapon. So put Malik Nabers in that offense and see if maybe you can have a little bit of a spark offensively that maybe can help Daniel Jones in some short, quick game passes. And I think that Brian Daboll can do a pretty good job with using Malik Nabers in multiple positions. We know that the Tennessee Titans need offensive line help. They were not very good last year. The Andre Dillard contract at left tackle was not a good contract, and they were just scrambling to try to figure out the offensive line. Now, we know they have hired Brian Callahan, and he came from Cincinnati. We had this debate years ago with Cincinnati whether to take an offensive lineman or take a wide receiver, Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell. Obviously, either one of those players, they both have turned out really good, but Brian Callahan has pretty much said, like, if you can get the ball out to weapons quickly, there's not really need for an offensive lineman. That's going to be their philosophy, so I have them taking Rome Odunze at number 7. His comp to me in the NFL, and this is something that I have heard from other people, is DeAndre Hopkins. He is a big body receiver that has a really great catch radius, meaning that he can catch anything. And you saw that against Texas in the national semifinals, that you kind of just put it kind of in his vicinity and he can track the ball. He has incredible ball skills. So I think Rome Odunze is going to be really good in this Titans offense, paired with DeAndre Hopkins, where he can learn some of the things that D-Hop has learned over his career. I think this is a great spot for Odunze to end up, and I think the Titans take him at 7. Number 8, the Falcons need defensive help. They go with Dallas Turner. Fast edge rusher. They need the defensive help. Raheem Morris, a defensive-minded head coach. They have weapons on the offensive side of the ball. So at this point, you just take the best player available. And at this point in the draft, that's Dallas Turner on the defensive side. He can get after the quarterback. I think he's versatile. That Raheem Morris is going to be able to put him in multiple positions. I think it's a good fit for the Atlanta Falcons and Dallas Turner. Number 9, I have the Chicago Bears taking Brock Bowers. I think that the Bears would ideally like to have one of those top 3 wide receivers in Harrison, Nabers, or Odunze. Since in my mock draft, they have all been taken off the board, you get the best next weapon, and that is Brock Bowers. He can help in the run game because he is a capable blocker, but he is dangerous with the ball in his hands. You pair him up with a Caleb Williams, and I think this is going to be a really good draft for the Chicago Bears. Again, this is going to be an interesting draft because I think there's obviously a lot of teams that could possibly try to trade up to get a quarterback. But at 9, I think the Chicago Bears, they need to get something going. And so I think they take the best player and the best playmaker available in Brock Bowers. And finally, in this mock draft, we have the New York Football Jets. Obviously, they're going to have Aaron Rodgers come back this season. What do they need? Well, they need offensive line help. Olu Fashanu, he gives them a left tackle. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time. However, in this division, the Dolphins' defensive line was banged up all last season. The Bills really couldn't get a pass rush late at the end of the year, and the New England Patriots are rebuilding. So I think you'll have some time in that division to be able to kind of help him develop in that year one. And this is the need for the New York Jets. They need offensive line. So whether or not it's one of those other offensive linemen, the guy from Alabama, I don't think they're going to go with the center from Oregon. I think they're going to need a left tackle, so that's why I have them taking one here at number 10. All right, that's going to be it. Again, just doing the first 10 picks today. Later on, as we get closer to the draft, I will do more mock drafts and mock out more of the first round, including trades. So be sure to look out for that coming up here in the next couple of months, because we really are right around the corner from the NFL draft in April. So also be sure to like this video if you did like it. It helps push out to other people. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.